We're back. Otmar, and did we lose South? I'll let South go. Oh, it's just his camera's off. All right, that's fine. All right, well, welcome back. I think, what are we on now? Episode 3? Or episode 3? First of all, quick apology for getting these videos up onto YouTube. Uh, yeah, life. I'm just way behind on all my uploads. I haven't, I think, uploaded anything in the last since before Christmas probably. So I have a backlog of things to catch up on. But it will be up within next week, I promise. Set aside some time to do that. In the meantime, we'll continue on with episode 3. Quick recap: you guys are back on back. You are on the mothership, the Iyanla. Most of you rescued from the now destroyed colony of Baxter's Reach. Aiko, when you came back on board, expecting a hero's welcome, you were instead imprisoned and fired. I think you spent most of last session in prison, reflecting on your sins and perhaps rehabilitating yourself. Not, um, but oddly enough, in a twist of events, a turn of fortune, your old boss, director Kamal Vartuhi, has mysteriously died of some sort of heart ailment, leaving you in charge of the Wayland-Yutani contingent aboard the Iyanla. You are freed from prison, reinstated, given back your old title, given access to the wealth of knowledge that Director Kamal Fartui was sitting on, including the intelligence that you had given him. Backtracking a bit, the reason why you were put in jail was because they discovered the black goo that you had smuggled aboard in Gideon's wheelchair.
Thanks for that, Gideon.
I'm gonna fucking kill you this episode, I swear to
In
God.
the meantime, Mad Megs, who's unable to join us tonight, set up a new shop called The Void within the bowels of Iyanla and by some old air ducts, whatever, ventilation shafts that are rarely visited. Set up a little bit of a casino down there and has started making contacts throughout the working folk of this ship. South, you were imprisoned in retaliation when Aiko was freed. But you were soon. How long, Aiko, did you leave him in there to stew before?
It was just overnight.
Just overnight? Okay. But now you all know that Aiko is in charge of Wayland-Yutani aboard this ship. That the former leader, Kamal Vartui, has died of natural causes. And the last scene that we saw in our previous episode was Aiko and the android. Yes. Standing over the body of Kamal Vartui, whose body remains in some sort of suspended animation within this med pod, within the private chambers of the Wayland-Yutani port sector of this ship. He's still alive. And Gaius alluded to having future plans for him. That's where we're. So a couple of housekeeping notes. Where is Captain Lynn? You mentioned that you want to throw her in prison too?
Yeah, she should be in the brig.
Okay, she'll be in the brig. What about Elena Brooks?
You said she left.
She left. She left on. She's on some other colony right now.
I mean, it's possible. I would love to send like an away team to go pick her up and bring her back.
I don't think you have the. You'd have to convince the
Sure.
other delegates to turn the Great Mother ship around and back to that colony. You do have a friend in Electo Throop, the leader of Throop Rescue and Recovery. She has taught Gideon how to fly a ship over the past 6 months to a year. And I think South, you've been doing odd jobs for Otmar as well. You guys have been doing odd jobs for maintaining the ships, learning how they operate, that kind of thing. All right. So where I'd like to start then is with Aiko.
Sorry, one thing before you had said Gaius has plans for him. He's still alive. Who's he? Who's the subject of that?
Amal. Amal is actually still alive.
Okay. So he is reported to be dead of natural causes. Aiko knows he's still alive, and he's the only one.
That's correct.
Oh, my buddy Gaius knows.
Gaius. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm there.
Or sorry, it's Gaius?
Yes.
Gaius. Sorry.
Yeah.
Gaius.
All right. Aiko, as you and Gaius stand over Kamal's body, Gaius says, Vice President Muro, I suggest that we convince the other delegate leaders to investigate further the coordinates that you provided to this so-called Lich Gate. It could prove of immeasurable value to Wellington.
No, Gaius. If you were a human, I think you could be a president within Weyland-Yutani one day.
I imagine that is a compliment.
I don't give many of them, Gaius, but you've done well here. But I'm concerned. I don't trust the council. How well do you know them? Who can we really trust?
Trust is a scarce commodity aboard this ship. As you know, the United Americas are now in open war against the UPP. So there are tensions simmering between those two factions aboard this ship, and they rarely agree on anything. There are the lesser corporate delegations from Helen Prospecting, Hyperdine, Omnitech. Although they have a smaller stake within this mission, they do have a collective voice that would likely rival one of the primary delegates, such as yourself. Then, of course, there is the ICC superintendent, who many I have heard refer to him as a busybody. A stickler for the rules and following the letter of the law, which may be a good thing in many cases, as it provides a sense of order on the ship and a sense of purpose and direction. However, it does, shall we say, restrict our ability to do our corporate duty at times.
You know, I think this is one of the problems that I had with Mr. Artui here is while he had strong personal ambitions, they were above the needs of the company, and the company should always come first. I have a thought. Yes. At my time at mergers and acquisitions, one of the benefits was we got access to weapons and research. It would help with any negotiation problems we might have had when settling disagreements. And I really think that I should get in contact with one of my associates there and begin some top secret research on this black goo. I really think this could be something big for the company. Kind of think of it as a backup plan for before we proceed with this Lichgate stuff, because I don't know what's going to happen with that.
Idea. Mr. Muro, may I make a suggestion?
Please.
That you keep this research to yourself until you're ready to reveal it.
Absolutely. We're going to shuttle some of this overtly, and we'll keep in touch with them over comms only. You, myself, and my strictly confidential contacts will be the only one that knows. Can you prepare a secure courier to send this?
For the substance.
Yes, sir. Only take about. I guess let's give them 75% of it. We'll keep the other 25%.
Oh. Perhaps you misunderstood. It has already been secured. 100% of it. As he looks down at Fortui's body.
All right, I understand. Draw some blood and send that instead.
Very well.
They should be able to extract what they need from that. But Gaius, next time, consult with me before doing something so reckless.
May I remind you that at the time I performed this act, you were in prison and had no position within Weyland-Yutani.
I was going to slam his hand down on the table. I don't need reminding of anything.
Of course. I'm going to switch now to a hangar of this ship where we see Otmar and South and Gideon about one of the Corvus class ships belonging to Group. Second, something here. And as you're working on some heavy machinery there, doing some repairs on the landing gear, this particular one is called Wicket, and it is Throop's personal ship. She approaches the three of you, and I'll just pull you onto the map here.
Did you say Wiccan or Wicked?
Wicket.
Wicked.
Go. Gideon. South. Otmar. And as the three of you are kind of like milling about at the bottom of the ship, fixing or paying attention to some of the landing gear, perhaps it was a little sticky the last time they returned from a mission. She approaches the three of you. Hello, crew. Am I interrupting anything?
No, boss.
There's no need for formalities. Just call me Lecto. That's fine. Is it true your friend Aiko has been freed? That the former director is dead?
I don't know if he's dead, but he is free. He put me in jail as a slap on the hand for putting him or giving him over to the corp. Now, as far as the old director, I don't know what happened there.
I was able to get in and see the medical records. They don't say much, though. Just say some sort of heart defect or something like that.
This all sounds very strange to me. Do you know why he went to prison in the first place? Why he was fired?
Well, I kind of am the reason he went to jail, but
It was kind of funny.
he was he'd smuggled some contraband onto the ship, and I guess the corpse caught wind of it and wanted to have a conversation with him about exactly he managed to sneak on the ship, and I guess they jailed him for it. But I kind of brought him to them so I could free my friends from Baxter's reach.
Sort of contraband.
That I don't know. They just told me that they were looking for him and that they had Gideon and Otmar in jail. So, fortunately, friends from home come before corpos. So I had to give him Ico. And to be honest with you, he was kind of off the rails a little bit. I guess after some altercation about him getting kicked out of dinner, I guess you told him he needed to leave. And he didn't take that too lightly. Found him in a closet muttering to himself.
He looks at you, Gideon.
Can I just really quickly whisper Otmar and just be like, are you sure we can't tell her about the stuff? She might help get it back.
If you learn anything in the past few months, you must have learned I don't know shit. I don't care if you tell her or don't tell her.
Oh, okay. I think what some of that contraband was that somehow, I don't know how, Ico got some of the goo onto the ship.
You're fucking kidding me.
I've been trying to figure out a way to get it back, but it's either get it back or destroy
Are
it.
you fucking kidding me?
That's what I said.
All right. All right. She looks around, kind of scratches her head a little bit. All right, we're fucked. We're fucked then. Prepare the ship for departure. We're getting off this bird. And she kind of walks away and starts calling out to her other crew to prepare their ships too.
Wait. You mean like you're taking us too, right? You're not just you can't just leave us on this ship.
No, you're coming. You're part of the crew.
I appreciate that. Sorry, I didn't mean to think that you wouldn't take us. It's just after everything that happened on Baxter's Reach, it's hard to trust people, you know?
You know what? Just pull your weights and we'll be good. All right. We don't have much time. If that cycler friend of yours is now in charge of that goo, I don't want to be here when the shit hits the fan.
Do we try to like warn everyone else? I've been thinking about trying to do that for a while, but I don't know.
There ain't enough escape pods and ships to get everybody off.
That, and to be honest with you, fuck them. They're the reason everything happened on Baxter's Reach. Why am I going to save the lives of people who just continue to destroy other lives, if left alive?
I mean, we can't just leave them.
No, we can. They were going to leave us, Gideon. You think they would have come back for us if we didn't have information that they needed, if we wasn't pertinent to their needs? 100% left us. I think it's time we start thinking about ourselves and quit wondering or quit worrying about everybody else. I ain't got no allegiances to these goons, these clowns. They were going to drop us off on a dead end rock the minute we signed that NDA.
Yeah, we was in the brig before that.
Yeah, and
That's
that.
right. They are not our allies. They are not our people. I don't know who our people are, but it ain't them.
I know who our people are. You, Gideon, and Mags. Those are our people. We are the last people to get off Baxter's Reach, other than a very select few. And if we hope
Andrea.
to spread the story of Baxter's
And Andrea.
story of Baxter's Reach,
Yeah.
we need to stay alive. As far as Andrea, actually, I wouldn't feel right leaving Andrea here. Benji wouldn't want that. Probably need to contact her. But definitely don't need to tell everybody. We don't need to stir up a panic before we are ready to leave.
I mean, we saw what that stuff did. We need to at least give them a chance. Yeah, they're fucking assholes, but they don't deserve that.
Best chance we give them is to nuke the reactor on our way out.
Just like they did to us. Nuke them.
They ain't got no chance against that
Gideon, I'm
monster.
sorry. I know you want to help these people, but be careful who you feel sorry for. There's one thing I've learned in life. These
Okay.
people destroyed an entire colony and sleep on feather pillows every night, just as good as they did the night before they did it.
All right. Well, y'all aren't gonna listen to me anyway, so okay, let's go for it.
So as you guys prepare the wicket for departure, I'm going to shift back. You, Aiko, what are you up to after your little confrontation with Yes?
So I'm going to be reaching out to one of my contacts in the weapons R&D department to let them know about this sample I'll be sending them, and telling them they have to extract it from the blood because of my idiot android.
Eh, do you wait for Gaius to extract the blood sample before you leave? Or do you trust Gaius
Well,
to get delivered himself?
that's a good question. I'm going to have Gaius extract the blood, put it in a mailer, and then I'm going to take the mailer itself. So I can call while he's doing all that.
Sure. You hear the hiss of air as he repressurizes the med pod and takes Kamal out of like whatever suspended animation he's in. The lid of the med pod opens and just like a blast of cold air that kind of fills the room as it and some like smoke and mist kind of trailing down from it as Guy says it will take some time for his blood to warm up enough for me to take a sample.
I mean, we want to just cut off a hand or something?
That seems quite extreme.
Well, I'm not going to be... outmoraled by a robot so fine. But
Very well then. Would you like to wait while he warms up, or
you like stick his hand in a pot of tea or something? Whatever. I'm gonna go make a call.
very well?
Go off and call my associate.
You leave the room.
I'm fine to have the conversation in earshot. Then,
Okay.
guys.
You can see guys like slowly, like taking measurements of Kamal, making sure he's like taking his vitals, making sure he's coming out of it stable. Watching the heart monitor slowly come back to life, and maybe about 10-15 minutes later, he says, "I'm ready to take the sample now."
Prepare it for travel.
He walks over to a small dresser on the other side of the room, pulls a drawer open, and extracts a syringe. And as he holds it to Kamal's arm, he's put a little bit of a tourniquet on there to help with the blood flow. He looks up at you and says, "You think have you read Space Beast?"
Have I?
I'm going to have you roll a, let's see, let's say an observation check to see if you know what Space Beast is about.
Of course I do.
All right. Space Beast is a banned book by an individual who wrote about his experience with alien creatures that basically just killed everyone in his in his crew, and just it describes basically what you saw, and what you experienced. But everyone had thought it was just a myth, a fairy tale, ravings of a madman. But beyond that, what he proposed in that book was that this is our next stage of evolution.
What are you getting at? Are you saying we can't control it?
I'm simply asking, or perhaps conjecturing, that this is perhaps natural.
You know, you're a synthetic life form on top of a ship that we built. Nothing in this fucking room is natural.
So I suppose you are not a believer in the, what did they call it? The Immaculate Conception? No. Immaculate Incubation.
You know, I didn't take you for one of those religious types.
Oh, I am incapable of faith.
Well, that makes two of us, partner. The only thing that I believe in is power. And the molecular structure of whatever the hell that is might be the most awesome power in the universe. And we have to get a saddle on it, because I ain't going to let anything get in the way of Weyland-Yutani's influence and rise to power. Because as long as I help them go up the ship, I go up with it.
This was just a hypothesis as he finishes drawing blood from your former boss and seals off the syringe and starts to package it up.
But
Just,
hold on, Gaius. Let it not be thought that I am Caesar of Rome and unwilling to listen to the advice of others. So let's take an extreme hypothetical and say that this immaculate concept or incubation is of merit. What have you say of that?
Well, if the stories are true, and this is what I think it is, as he looks down at your boss, Amal, and I believe we might have just delivered Kamal and set him on this final stage of evolution. And to follow your reasoning, if it is power that you're after, and with perfection comes power, perhaps this would also interest you, as he holds up the syringe.
Well, let's just say I won't be first in line, but if we can get some data, we'll talk about it later.
Seem like you are not a man of faith either.
The only thing I believe in is power and money.
Interesting. And he pulls off the little vial at the end of the syringe, throws the syringe into like biohazard waste, and seals it up, and passes you the little vial.
Yeah, I'll make contact with my guy and I'll go personally, like, I don't know, send it in some sort of specialized hyperlink mailer. Or at the very, and you know what I'll do to speed it along too? Is there a way we could do it like kind of a molecular analysis, and I'll send the digital data right away, and then I'll actually send the physical sample, which will obviously take longer.
You mean to the lab aboard this ship?
So I want to run an analysis of the blood and send them the digital data immediately, and then I'll physically mail it off.
Again, this is aboard the ship because you can't. You have no contact with the Middle Heavens right now. They're too far. It would take.
Oh, so I can't reach. Yeah. Oh, I can't reach my weapons.
Not back in the Middle Heavens. No, that would be way too long to get a message.
And there's
back
nobody
home.
within reach of where we are.
No. I mean, you are approaching a mining colony.
Okay, so then would it make more sense then for me to have Gaius do the actual studies and research here on the ship then, if it's just me and him?
There is actually a team of scientists aboard too.
Oh, okay. So that's the first thing. I'm gonna have Gaius both get clearance, top level clearance on all of the scientists, but also but in addition to the clearance, I only want scientists that we have severe blackmail on, like top level, we can find your kids and your wife and all that stuff. If they're a goody two shoes and there's no dirt, they ain't touching this stuff.
Guys, looks at you. It's very good. I will begin that investigation immediately. In the meantime, what would you like to do with the sample?
Aiko's gonna kind of look over at the needle, and a shiver's gonna run down his spine, especially as he looks at Vertui there. We'll put it in cryo for now, and you can have the lab tech start working on it once they've been vetted.
Very good.
Are we
He clo-
sure that container is safe for him? I'm a little nervous now. Is
Oh,
there
as
somewhere
long
more
as-
secure we could put him?
This is the most secure and location on aboard this ship. No other contingent aboard this vessel is allowed within these quarters.
And who did you say was the representatives that we would probably have the most influence over? We want to take a look at this Lich Gate.
Well, there is the UPP General, Ozolinsky. There's the United American, Valentina Berezzi. There's Superintendent Jim Busby, the ICC. And these are the other minor corps here. And 3W through World Empire.
All right, here's what we're going to do. See whichever ones you can dig up dirt on that we can get some blackmail. And I'll have a meeting with them later to discuss this Lichgate problem.
Very good. Is there anything else, sir?
Could there be?
No. I shall let you know of my progress.
Very good, Gaius.
He makes his way to a Comtech panel and starts doing research on some of the scientists to see if there's anything he can dig up on them.
Oh, how are those? One other thing. How are those? The natives I brought back with me, the locals. How are they doing?
Oh, they have been adopted of sorts by Throop and her company. Recovery and rescue operations. Interesting that you ask about them now as he looks at his panel. It would seem as though they're preparing for launch, although there's no mission on docket at the moment.
I don't think I'm quite ready for them to leave yet. Deny their leave pass.
You do not have authority to do that. That is under the purview of the captain of this ship.
Until we've dealt with the Lichgate, I don't want anybody leaving this ship. So I will include this in my conversations with them.
Very good. And he gets back to his blackmail research. In the meantime, as you're making your way and you're trying to, I guess, schedule a conference or council meeting with the other leaders,
Yeah.
you do get like another signal coming over your personal comm device saying, unsanctioned mission in progress.
What the hell is this?
And then you see an order come through, send security to the docking bays.
I'm gonna head over to the docking bay.
Back in the docking bay, sorry. Go. The three of you are preparing, and you can see this place is suddenly come alive as the various crews of I forget how many. I think there were 3 ships, the Corvus class ships that made up the that made up the Throop contingent. There's a total of 18 crewmen, 6 for each ship, plus the 3 of you. Preparing the ships for takeoff. They're loading up supplies. checking fuel, all this stuff, comm checks. But it seems to have gathered the attention of the higher ups, and you hear a number of security personnel enter the hangar. It's just the three of you now. You guys are the ones closest to them. Electo is off on another ship preparing it. There's something you would like to do at this point before they come? They don't have their weapons drawn. They're just walking. There's about half a dozen of them.
While all this craziness is going on, can I try and like just nonchalantly sneak away to, like, if there's like a public terminal or something like that I can sneak away to?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
There would be one in the hangar.
Otmar would try to slow them down by, like, you know, deploying steam vents or like moving carts like in their way or pushing it into them.
Right.
Blocking the area temporarily with a cable. You know, just getting ready, doing machine things.
Right. Can you make a heavy machinery check?
As Otmar's doing that, I think Beth would kind of see that and then maybe try to go get through. Or find her. Let her know that the guards are on the way.
All right. So, Otmar, you managed to waylay them a little bit with these cables, fuel lines running across the floor, heavy machinery carts kind of trundling across the floor in front of their path.
Oh, watch out. Don't want to get hit by one of these. Oh.
The captain of this security contingent signals to the others to kind of fan out, and he stops and talks to you, Otmar, and says, "Where's Captain Electo Throop?"
I think the captain probably on the ship.
Which
and the reason
ship?
don't it? I don't know. I'm just here trying to hook up the fuel lines and the cables.
He has signaled the other guards kind of to start trying to investigate the other ships to see where find the captain is. And as he talks to you, he says, "What is the meaning of this?"
What's the meaning of this? Do you not realize what keeps this operation running? Cables and pipes, okay?
No, you are preparing for a mission that has not been sanctioned.
I'm always preparing for any kind of circumstance. Got rules against preparing?
Where's your captain?
I wish I could tell you. Well, come with me. I think I know where she might be. We'll try to find her.
Where do you take him?
Definitely the opposite direction from the wicket.
Yeah.
Captain, you down here? No,
All
I'll
right.
try the next one.
All right. Gideon, what are you checking out the Comtech panel?
There's two things I want to do, but I feel like this takes a little bit more precedence. So this might be far-fetched, but is there a way I can hack into the system and create a fake, I guess, like, leave pass or mission pass?
Yeah.
To kind of make this all look a little bit more legit?
Okay. I'm going to say this is going to require 3 successes for it to go off without a hitch, that it looks legit. 2 successes, you get it done, but you might leave a trail as to, like, it's a forgery. 1 success or lower is 1 success is there, but it's obvious hack, and no successes is you aren't able to do it at all.
Okay, yeah, I can do it. I can do 3 successes. Yeah, just gonna do a little bit of Comtech, right? Okay, yeah, I can do that. Easy peasy. God damn it, I'm gonna push. Try again.
All right. Oh no.
Oh.
You
I
can
don't know
only
what
push
happened.
once. You can only push once.
Oops.
All right, so I'm gonna erase that last one.
Oh, God damn it! I tried.
All right, so with the one success, you managed to pull off, but it is a hack job. You don't even know what one of these things look like. So you basically just pull up a blank Word document and just type in something you think sounds good.
Times New Roman font.
Well, just let these ships leave the bay. Send. Well, I
Zamana
tried,
says
guys.
you have
Sorry.
a total of 2 successes on mine. So is it just the one success?
That's what I got.
Just the one success.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I was gonna say, following the push, you have a total of 2. Is that just
No,
add
the push
2?
will add on any additional successes. So just one success, and so
God.
as soon as you hit send, maybe 5 seconds later, you get an alert, and you can tell right away they've traced it all the way back to the comm tech panel that you are at.
Oops. I think he's just gonna quickly look around and just kind of nonchalantly just slide away.
Good news, guys. I added
look at
forgery
that.
to our crimes.
It's like,
Could you have forged like
fancy thing
Aiko's
over
name on it?
here. Oh, could I do that?
It's a little late.
Oh man.
All right. So you're running back into the ship. You're looking for Megs and Andrea. Is that
Me?
correct? Yeah. Who are you looking for?
I was looking for Throop. I was gonna try to alert her that
Oh,
the
Throop.
guards are on the way. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Throop is already in one of the other ships, so you went to find Throop. Okay. You find Throop on the ship. Excuse me, furthest away from the wicket. She's in the bridge, the captain's chair, and she's doing a quick scan. She doesn't even look up when she hears you come in. Says, "Yeah, what do you want?"
Got problems, Throop. Big problems.
She looks up and out the window, and she can see the security personnel kind of spreading out through the hangar. Says, "Oh, fuck." All right.
Yeah. And they want you big time.
All right, wait here. We haven't done anything wrong yet. Just keep preparing. Right? I'll take care of these guys.
Said something about a unsanctioned mission, so they know we're leaving. And we got a mole.
She just swears under her breath as she walks out into the hangar. Just come with me.
You want me to come with you?
She stops when you and turns around. Yes, come with me.
I don't know what good I'm gonna be, but all right, yeah, sure. Let me. Yeah, I'll be right there.
As she comes out, Otmar, you have led the other guy to the far corner of the hangar. One of the other guards spots Throop and South emerging from the far ship, and he radios over to his captain. And the you can hear the other security guard's voice coming over the comm saying, "Throop has just emerged from the last ship, sir." And then the captain just looks over at you, Otmar.
Oh, she might have mentioned. Let's go.
And he'll walk the length of the hangar and face Throop. Now, Gideon, did you make your way back from the comm panel? Okay.
He's trying to get as far away from the comm panel as fast and nonchalantly as he can.
All right. Aiko, as you're making your way to the docking bay, you see the forged mission statement come across your pad. Clearly not real.
I can probably tell it's Gideon because it wouldn't have been the other two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, why didn't you just ask me? God. So who's in charge of the security that's down there?
It'd be the captain.
Captain.
He is captain. Where did he go? Go. I have to find the captain.
Captain Shepard of the Normandy.
USS Enterprise.
I thought this was Captain
go.
Picard.
Wow, that's a big long ass name here. Just let me show him.
Oh boy.
Kept saying guys, and I kept thinking of Garrus from Mass Effect. I don't know why. I wanted to say it the whole time.
Check out this. It fills half the screen.
I'm just gonna call him Tad.
Dude, you weren't kidding.
Yeah.
Can I get him on the comms?
You can try. You can try.
Sure.
You hear a rich, deep voice come across the comms back at you and says, "I'm rather busy, Mr. Kimura. What is it?"
Yes, that's what I'm calling about. Can you fill me in very quickly? What's going on with this dock here and all the men coming down?
It's under control, sir. No need to worry.
I'm not worried. I want to be informed. Just let me know what's happening here. Don't have to get too much detail. Just very quickly.
You will receive a briefing upon the conclusion of our investigation.
Can I try to manipulate him to give me this information?
We're still gathering the details, sir. But it would seem as though Captain Throop is preparing for a mission launch that has not been sanctioned by myself or the UN.
Oh, Aiko's gonna remember that name. Oh, that bitch. So what's gonna? So I don't care if you want to arrest her. That's totally fine. What about the other ones?
Sorry, sir. What other ones?
Like her crew and everything. What's happening to them?
I'm unaware unless they're doing anything illegal, then they will be asked to cease and desist.
Well, I just want to let you know that one of the younger kids on there, Gideon, I taught him a few things on a computer, and he might have gotten carried away. Aiko's gonna send him the attempted forgery. I think she was just playing around with this. It's obviously a joke. She probably meant he probably meant it as a joke, but just so you know, this he doesn't really know computers, so just forget about this whole.
I'm sorry, sir, but forging a mission statement is a serious offense.
I'm gonna try another manipulation on him if I'm allowed.
Yep.
Gideon, I am trying to help you. I'm trying to get you out of trouble. Why are you getting so worked up?
You tattletale. God damn it, I'm going to kill you.
This is the worst forgery I've ever seen. I'm trying to prevent you.
I tried. I don't know.
For going to the gulag.
I've never done this before.
Ooh.
Oh my god. Oh my
god. But as a born leader.
That's debatable.
I had to do it the other way around. It has to be command and manipulate, and I did manipulate. Do I want to push it? No, I don't. It's this for once. I won't push it. So I'm asking him as a favor, just to forget about this.
You have zero stress. You literally used Gideon's wheelchair to smuggle it in, and you're not gonna push it.
Ah, fine. There you go.
Stress die pulling through for you. So, fine, sir. I will take your recommendation into consideration.
They're not from these parts. They don't understand our ways and traditions, good manners up here.
Of course. Is there anything else I can help you with?
What's gonna happen to Electo?
That has yet to be determined. We need to understand what the situation is within the hangars. Until we have a clear idea,
Okay. You know what? I'll wait for the briefing. Just make sure I'm invited on that.
very well.
Aiko's actually gonna stop going to the bridge. Might be getting a little too heated for him. Doesn't want to deal with the confrontation.
All right. So, sorry, the hangar? You weren't going to go to the hangar?
Now that he got the captain on the phone and he knows his friends aren't gonna, associates aren't gonna be arrested. He's like, okay, it's fine. I don't really care what happens. Electo.
Okay.
Oh, that's true.
All right. So, Electo faces off with this captain and says, "What seems to be the problem here?" And the captain says, "You were preparing for an unsanctioned mission. They ask under whose direction you are acting upon." Electo says, "On my own. I'm trying to run a business here. Now, there is some maintenance we need to do on our ships that can only be done in space. Can't do it here within the hangar. We need to check our comms. We need to check our systems, our nav systems, and we can't do that sitting in here. You have a problem with that?" And the captain says, "You should have cleared it with the captain first." Oh, sorry. Still trying to get used to the rules here. And it says, "By the way, take a look at that landing strut over there." She points to the one that you guys have been working on. Now that thing's been sticking on me all month. So the only way we can really test it now is if we take it out there and try to close it up. So, do I have your permission? And the captain looks at the strut and looks at the three of you who he saw, except for Gideon, who was scampered off to panel. Looks at you, Otmar, actually, because you were the one closest there. And says, "Is this true? Is a landing strut in need of repair and testing?"
If it's been known to stick, you gotta check it twice. Usually you just gotta check it once. And you can't check it sitting here, obviously.
Looks back at Throop and says, "Very well. Log your mission. Follow procedure. This is your final warning." Throop just throws up a salute, says, "Yes, sir." "Noted, sir." And the captain just turns away and walks out with the security guards. Throop says, gathers the three of you around and says, "All right, what the hell was that?"
Was what?
"I trust my crews with my life. Only difference in the equation recently as the three of you.
Are you accusing us of ratting about the mission?
We don't have the means and we don't have the motive.
Yeah. I can tell you right now, if there's anybody who wants to get out of here, it's us. We've seen what that thing can do. Trust me. We want to get out of here as much as you do. I got no reason to stop you or hinder you getting out of here, or we don't.
You see one of her engineers pass her a data pad. He looks down at it and looks directly at you, Gideon. Is this your handiwork?
See? Yeah, it's not my greatest. Oops.
You're going to help me write up this mission report properly. So next time you try this, you'll know what the hell to say.
Okay, I can do that.
All right, we need to be a bit more subtle. Take shifts preparing the ships. Gather your stuff. Try to be discreet. Don't you all pack up your quarters all at once and haul everything onto the ship. We'll do it over 3 days, but no more. I want to be off this bird at Black Goo.
I know you're taking the three of us, and that's asking a lot, but you think we got room for one more?
Who do you have in mind?
A woman named Andrea. She's the sister of a real good friend of mine. He was a good kid. Died on Baxter's Reach.
Is she handy with anything?
She could learn, like the rest of us have been.
I'm not a refugee mission here. South. She's got to pull her weight. Especially if we're jumping ship and making our own way out here in the far spinwards. That can't have any dead weight.
I understand. She'll pull her weight. I'll be sure of it. I'll take full responsibility for her.
Right then. And she gives you all this kind of a lingering look as she's kind of just trying to get a better appraisal of the three of you to see if any of you would be capable of betraying her. 3 days. 900 hours. And she walks away. Gideon, but she walks away with you, Gideon. She teaches you actually how to fill out one of the forms properly. Next time you try this, you'd only need one success.
Yay, I get something out of that failure.
All right, so how do you guys want to pass the next 3 days then?
Otmar's still scrounging for parts to rebuild a zapper, or maybe even 2.
Go ahead and make another roll for me.
Good thing. Is that heavy machinery?
Hmm?
Can you push that?
No, because this is a longer term thing.
Yeah. Cool. It's coming up empty. It's sparse. It seems like people are starting to pack up.
Find that very specific component, the lighter igniter or something.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
All right. How about you, Gideon? What are you up to?
I think Gideon's packing up, but he also feels really guilty about just leaving everybody. So this is probably going to backfire majorly. Can he, from another very different public terminal, somewhere on the ship, very far away from where his quarters are, can he try and send just like an anonymous message to the UN leader, just essentially just saying, "Don't trust Wayland Yutani"?
You want to send this anonymously?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this will take a contact check.
Please, this is the one thing I'm good at. I beg of you.
Right.
Oh, thank
Oh, by the
God.
way, you can take away your stress now. All right. So you managed to hide your digital fingerprint and send this message off. And what exactly do you say in this message?
I think it keeps it short and sweet and just says along the lines of, "Don't trust Wayland Yutani. They have weapon," and just send that off to them.
Aiko, what are you up to?
I was looking over the blackmail that we got on the UN Council members, preparing to brief them on the Lichgate.
Okay. You don't find anything on Superintendent Jim Busby.
Yeah, he
It's
looks like a banker.
He is clean as a whistle. He's a completely straight as an arrow, by the book guy. Spotless record. Valentina Perezzi has there's nothing substantive, like nothing has stuck, but there are rumors that she has taken bribes in the past. UPP General Nerlin Ozolinsky, he's suspected of war crimes. Do you need each on each of them?
I mean, I guess just like the gist is fine. This is more than
It's
enough.
the
Yeah.
three. These are the three big guys, and of course, the UN leader himself. The worst that you could find about Kolwa Abantu was that his marriage dissolved before this mission because he had an affair.
Okay. Is that public knowledge?
Yeah, it was very public.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess like I'll book the meeting with them. I'm happy to do that now too if you want to do that.
Um, by the way, Gaius is like attached at the hip
That's
to you.
that's how I like it.
All right. Unless you have him off doing some other errand, he is with you. In those 3 days, the blood sample that you had studied, preliminary results are available if you want to hear them.
Oh heck yeah.
So, the chief scientists on this ship, picture of it, Dr. Frank Kim, another Frank. Uh,
Creepy.
he's when he talks to you, he seems really excited.
Reminds me of oh, what was that one who was talking about writing the paper with me? The old
Oh,
the old one that came with Alex, the that woman. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, forget. He's really excited. I have never seen anything like this before. This is where did you get this? It's life, but it has no DNA. It has something. I believe it can resequence DNA.
Interesting. That makes a lot of sense. And do you think do you think we can control how it resequences it, or is it, or do you think it just does it on its own? In the sense that, do you think we could harness this one day?
Perhaps given enough time, enough resources, um, I think we could make progress on that. But and he looks around his lab. I mean, we need more than this. This is a break. This could cure every ailment. I mean, we're talking about proto life here. We're talking about like T cells, like were the big thing a few decades ago. Now this is like the seeds of life. Possibly, we could reprogram life.
Would it make sense if we would set up a special colony research on one of the nearby planets and just get people dedicated down there and build everything we need? Would that work?
It would depend on the facilities. I imagine they might be a little outdated since they have been isolated for 75 years. But
I mean, we can build it. We got engineers here.
yeah. But there have only been three of us, as there are two other scientists in the room with him. Only three of us know of this sample. We'd have to share.
Hmm.
You don't believe what we saw. We saw this substance break down the red blood cells, resequence the DNA in them into something completely new, something incredible. I can't even begin to understand what I saw.
What quarantine protocols do you have in place for this?
Uh, Quite strict. I mean, he points over to a small little cabinet. We keep all our samples there. They're completely hermetically sealed, and there's no chance of them getting out. Only myself and my colleagues here have access to it.
And the air supply is one way, right? Nothing can get out on the ship.
Well, it is a spaceship, so all air is recirculated.
Make sure the highest grade filters are installed.
They already are. We have top of the line equipment here in the lab to make sure of such things.
I'm afraid I also have to implement the red protocol. If anyone is suspected of being infected, they must immediately be put into hypercryo sleep.
And then you realize something. It's almost as something dawns on the guy for the first time. Whose blood is this?
I'm gonna pull up. What's the blackmail I have on this guy?
On this scientist?
Yeah.
He had a record of doing research off the books, like just kind of doing questionable type experiments.
Mr. Kim, you've already gotten in big trouble doing research off the books. Well, let's continue to keep it off the books and your trouble will go away. But questions like that will bring you back into citation realm. And I don't want to write a citation for you, Frank. You seem like a good guy.
Understood, sir.
Just call it sample A.
Sample A. Very good. I'll keep you apprised of our progress, but I will be honest with you. With the limited resources we have and only the three of us, we could be on this round the clock 24 hours a day and it would still take us decades to understand what we're seeing here.
How many androids do we have on the ship?
There are a fair number. Most of them are working Joes and Jills.
Do we have any research class androids?
No. Gaius
Yeah,
be
Gaius.
more
I
than
mean,
capable
I
of doing that.
yeah, I would assume he's already allowed to help with that research, but if it hasn't been formalized, like he could help. Um, Aiko is now getting an idea, like maybe this Lich Gate. He's to be perfectly frank and to let you know his inner dialogue. He's now thinking about the other Frank, and it's like maybe if we could talk to Frank, this could speed things up. Oh man, actually, Aiko is gonna have a conversation with Gaius and kind of talk about the slowness here. And as he's talking about the Lich Gate with Gaius, sorry, I'm sorry. I'm so used to saying Gaius from another game I used to play. So I apologize if I flub it so much.
No
Gaius.
worries.
He's actually gonna talk. So he's gonna talk to him about Frank and the other Frank, not our Frank, Lich Frank. We'll call him Lich. And he's gonna ask him, because he was a model like him. He's gonna ask him, what do you think went wrong with him, and do you think we might be able to get him to share his research with us if we were to get in contact with him again?
Perhaps he was an older generation model, and it did sound like he's suffered some sort of breakdown, uh, psychological, perhaps even physiological. I don't know how uh, trustworthy we would find his research, but he has clearly demonstrated that he has an understanding of what you are yourself trying to gain knowledge about. So perhaps
What if we sent a sacrificial away team to go back to the planet and see if they could pull the data from the room he was in? I will be blunt. We would probably have to sacrifice the crew because it wouldn't be safe to bring them back on the ship after.
good. Shall I volunteer the Throop ship?
Ooh. Let's do it. Yes. This could be quite a venture, but they will have to be flagged as do not board again. We can only take the data when they get back.
Very good. I will inform the captain.
Thank you, Kate.
And I'm going to switch back to south now. Yeah, you have 3 days to prepare to evacuate with the Throop mission. What is south up to in those 3 days?
Just out of character, I would just like to say, can we just make Aiko the main villain?
I was actually tempted to
Yeah,
send a
please.
message that I'm actually okay if we want to switch him to be antagonistic, and I'm okay with that if that's where this is going.
One more bad
He was
decision from you,
antagonistic before.
from
Now
crashing
he's
out and driving to your house and burning it down. I swear to God.
like, I'm trying to play him true to his character, and like he's power hungry, and this is candy for him. Like
That's what he would do. That's what he would do.
yeah,
Yes.
you're right. Yeah.
And it's
You're right.
great, and it's causing the biggest crash out of my life right now. I swear to God.
like
It's
he
like-
he cares about he cares about you more than like a random person on the street.
That really.
Okay,
instills
so like random
confidence.
person on the
Thanks.
streets right here, and we're like, right
Yeah,
there.
I think it's
yes,
more bars in hell, and we're like an inch above that.
but
One
like
step above complete sociopath. Then. All right.
Yeah.
I got my buddy Gaius or Gaius, and I'm thinking about that Lich Gate, and the ship is back under my control as it always should have been, and that
Actually
black
gonna crash
goo.
out.
I kind
I
of
mean-
felt bad for doing the switcheroo and putting you in jail, but as this progresses, starting to feel less bad about it.
Well, here's the good news. You don't know anything about it.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
That's
Not
what
yet.
makes it so
Yeah.
bad.
At least
Right,
I
so-
backstabbed you to your face. Like you were there. Like
That's a good
I
one.
did it while you
I'm
were
gonna
there.
backstab you to your face.
Yeah, at least I did it to you while you were there in the room.
Yeah,
Now,
way to man up and be like South over here.
To be fair, he said the Electo group, which again he does not like her. So he wasn't necessarily thinking it's you guys.
Well, because he didn't get invited to dinner.
Actions have
Dang, dude.
consequences.
That's petty.
Dude, should have just let him sit down. Should have just let him have dinner. But I think South is going to. So is this still day 3, or how many days have we progressed?
You have 3 days. So yeah, what are you gonna do in those 3 days?
I think in those 3 days, South is going to maybe try to talk to Andrea, and maybe try to convince her to come with us. But he doesn't want to give her quite the full story yet. Like if she's not willing to come within day 1 or 2, he'll finally break down and tell her, look, what's happening on Baxter's Reach is going to happen here. But I think he's going to at first kind of try to keep a lid on that, just so she doesn't like freak out and start telling a bunch of people. And just kind of slowly pack up his things from his room, and maybe probably go to the shooting range for like an hour or 2 a day just to kind of hone his skills. Because I think I took a lot of close combat, or upgraded close combat, ranged combat twice actually. Yeah. So he's just going to kind of go to the range 2 or 3 times in between, kind of hone that skill, and just ask Thorpe, whatever she needs him to do, he's there, and he's chomping at the bit to get off of this ship. Like he cannot get out of here quick enough. He's very on edge, like shifty, just ready to go.
You'll be off very soon. You can go see your home planet.
It's not what I meant, Aiko. Damn it.
Andrea takes very little convincing to get off the ship. Since she's been on the ship, she's kind of been despondent, still grieving over the loss of her brother. This whole ship has been weird for her. The loss of Baxter's Reach too has kind of hit her hard. Everything and everyone she knew back there is gone. Everything she'd gone through, like that awful tattoo, or scarring that she got for joining the Simps. She's regretting that now. So a lot of regret, a lot of sorrow, a lot of grief. So when you say you're leaving, yeah, she's going with you.
And
No
I
question.
think South would kind of. I think there was a point on Baxter's Reach where South kind of blamed her for Benji's death. I think South would kind of try to explain to her that, it was kind of in a very heated moment, a very emotional moment, and try to smooth that over a little bit with her as well.
It's funny, Benji wanted to get off that rock so bad. That's all he ever talked about. That's all he ever wanted. And here we are on this crazy ass ship, flying through space, and we wanted to leave.
Well, to be fair, we'll still be flying through space, just in a different ship, in a safer ship. Getting out of here. Thorpe has agreed to take us with us, but Andrea, everybody's got to pull their weight. All I ask is that come on board, you just be helpful. Know that things haven't been the best. Benji's passing and everything that happened on Baxter's Reach, but there's a chance for us, for everyone that survived.
I'll pull my weight. I don't care. I'll clean the bathrooms. I'll clean the toilets. I don't care. I'll do whatever. But just don't fucking leave me here, man.
I wouldn't do that. I know you and Benji's had your differences, but I don't know. Ever since I saw Benji, or I'd been seeing Benji at the bar, that was so many episodes ago. I can't even remember the name of the bar. Like episode 1, whatever that bar was. Like when I first met Benji,
Eva's Tumblr.
this Tumblr. When I first met Benji, you know, he was getting all the rations and stuff for me, but I could tell he was a good kid. A little mixed up. You know, me and him shared a few cigarettes in the back. Sorry for that. But he was a good kid, and I'm going to do my best to go out of here and keep you safe. Benji, I promise.
He was a good kid. She still has his baseball hat as a keepsake and reminder of him. I'll start packing right away, but I'll be discreet about it. No, I won't. Thank you, South.
Of course, Adrian, just, again, be discreet, be safe. If any of the guards try to talk to you, just kind of blow them off. Just try to keep a low profile. And when you get on board the ship, you mind, you know, not joining any rebellions or anything like that this time?
Yeah, I promise.
South will kind of walk out.
Speaking aliens. Day 2, the day before you guys are supposed to leave. You're working in the hangar as normal, Otmar, on these ships, maintaining them, getting to know how they operate, all the mechanics of them. You become quite proficient over time with these Corvus class ships. But a security guard was walking across the hangar. You hear his footsteps kind of slipping across the floor. The same captain. And he just kind of stops about 10 feet from you. Hands folded in front of him.
Hey, good looking.
Sounds like you have a bit of a fan club.
How you mean that?
Someone in the brig wants to talk to you. Don't know why.
I don't want to go to the brig. I'd prefer not to. Why do you want to do this?
I'm not taking you to the brig. There is somebody being held in the brig who wishes to speak with you.
Is it somebody?
Captain Ling Shu Ying.
Captain Lin. All right. Hi. Can I get her on the comms, or I have to actually go there?
There are no comms in the brig.
Well, shoot.
Follow me?
He will.
All right. As you put down your wrench or whatever you're holding, the tool, and you start walking out of the hangar, you do notice some looks from other crew members in the crew. Seriously looking at you as you leave the hangar with a security guard.
I got a friend in the brig. Gotta go talk to him.
He leads you down to the brig, and there you see sitting in the same cell that you were sitting in a few months ago, Captain Lin. He looks up at you and says, "Thank you for coming."
Yeah, I don't know what you think I can do for you, though.
I know something is going down on this ship. I know that somehow that slimy friend of yours from Wayland Yutani is involved.
You don't
There-
miss a trick, Captain Lin.
I've spent my time before I was incarcerated by your friend understanding the pulse of the people here on the ship, and I've made a few friends along the way. There are rumors that Throop is about to leave.
I got nothing to say about that.
You are a member of our crew now, aren't you? You and that young boy and the one with missing a kidney and that prospector fellow that drinks too much, frankly.
Gotta pass the time somehow.
Let me be blunt with you. Take me with you.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be easy to do. Back seems pretty hard. Like, how you gonna get out of the brig? And where you gonna go? How you gonna hold up?
All you need to tell me is when you plan on leaving. Leave the escape from the brig to me. I will rendezvous with you when you leave. Escaping the brig in this tin can means nothing. I've got nowhere to go but with you leaving.
He would find a way to convey that information to her subtly in code by tapping something like that. Not something super smart, but something, cryptic enough. But he would comply.
There are also rumors that your friend brought something on board this ship, something very dangerous.
Yeah, that may be true. I haven't seen it yet, but when it comes to these things, I tend to assume the worst.
You and I, we were there together. We saw whatever that stuff was capable of doing. I want no part of that.
I understand.
Thank you. If in the end you are able to return me to my people, you will be greatly rewarded, despite what happened on Baxter's Reach.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Captain Lin. Hope to see you soon.
Aiko, it is the day before Throop mission is going to get underway. Yes, has put together the mission to have Throop do a recovery mission back at Baxter's Reach and look for any survivors. So it is.
Survivors, because there's Mad Meg's men down there. Pick up the bodies for research. Download all the data on the pad. If Frank is there, do not engage. Contact us first, and yeah, bring back some of those beautiful vials that we saw in that ancient room there.
So you managed to convene the council. They're all kind of gathered in the same room that you were debriefed in when you first boarded the ship. And you have now, instead of sitting in the middle, you are now sitting on the outside ring, third from UN theater. With guys right behind you. And the governor, before he even has a chance to say anything, you hear Callan Prospecting General Lee Taylor try to speak up and says, "Why the hell are we here, Aiko?"
When my predecessor was here, he clearly didn't understand the priorities and didn't understand how this group of delegates should work together. And he withheld information from you that would affect making the best decision. And so I'm here to fix that mistake. And I'm here to enlist everyone in an opportunity of a lifetime.
Valentina speaks up. Says, "Speak plainly, Mr. Kimura. What is it you want?"
When we were down on the planet, there was an android, but not like an android I've ever seen before. And he had been doing research. And while, no doubt, he's malfunctioned, I think he has gotten closer to the truth of this universe than we ever have. And one of the things that I saw when I was in his lab, I don't know what to call it, was this. And Aiko's going to bring up the Lichgate photos that he took. There is some sort of Lichgate. I don't quite know what it is, but I believe that this is an awesome power, much more important than, you know, dropping these eggs off on some planet to hatch one day. This should be our real mission. We have to figure out what this Lichgate is, and we have to bring it under our control.
General sitting next to you, Mr. Ozolinski, turns slowly to you and says with a completely emotionless face, "What might be waiting for us at this Lich Gate?"
Adventure, dear boy. No. I'm gonna do like a manipulation check. Yes, I'm always gonna say, if it's anything like what I discussed with Frank, answers to the most fundamental questions of the universe, things that we haven't been able to understand. For example, we've never been able to detect dark matter. We don't know what makes up the subatomic particles of our world. This research that Frank was working on, I believe, is as close to the beginning of the creation of source of life itself. And I believe we can find some answers there. No human could ever come up with what we would find without what I believe we'll get at the least.
Jim Busby leans forward and raises his hand. Excuse me, but this is not within the mandate of the Great Mother mission. This is a colonizing mission, not an exploration or research mission. We have 10,000 colonists in cryo. We're not going to have them hike across this galaxy and chase after this Lichgate. No, we have a mission. We're here to reestablish contact with the isolated colonies and recolonize those places that need it.
Are you familiar with Christopher Columbus?
Of course, I do.
So you would know then that what you seek is not always what you find, but that cannot blind you to the treasures at hand.
We're not treasure hunters, Mr. Kimura. We are colonists.
Oh, we don't have to hunt. That's the thing. It's already there. We just have to take it.
He looks over to the governor, the UN governor, says, well, I have submitted my opinion. I am formally disagreeing with this notion of chasing after this Lich Gate or whatever it is. So that is not within the scope of this mission. I firmly must insist that we do not follow this course of action. Governor leans back and thinks for a moment and says, you know, he's right. Much as I hate to admit it sometimes, we are not an exploration vessel. We are a colony vessel, Mr. Kimura. And as long as we are safeguarding 10,000 lives within our cryo chambers, we cannot afford to deviate from that.
So what you're telling me is if we didn't have all these eggs on board, we'd be free to go after the Lich Gate.
Well, then the mandate of our mission would possibly be over then, and perhaps we could adopt a new one.
What if we do both at the same time, right? We can continue to drop these whatevers off and look at the Lich Gate. We just need to split up some of the groups that we send the personnel on.
We have a well-discussed plan before our mission even set out. It is a 5-year plan. Over the course of 5 years, we will visit, reestablish contact with the colonies out here, reestablish them, and colonize new planets. After those 5 years are over and our mission is complete, maybe then we can consider your proposal, Mr. Kimura.
You're blind fools. You don't understand what we're giving up here. This isn't even a choice. We could live forever, cure every disease. How is that less important than dropping people off on some hick planet?
The General Ozolinski turns to you and says, and you have the precise coordinates for the Lich Gate then?
Well, I did happen to roll like 4 6s, so yeah. Actually, I do. I don't. Actually, I do have the coordinates, right? Yeah. So I'm actually gonna pull that up on the screen.
It's got 4 digits of precision on those coordinates.
Yeah.
It's got it down to the minute and the second.
I've got Frank on a GPS tracker. I can see where he is right now. How far is the first Lich Gate from us?
Ozolinski? There's only the one Lich Gate.
Oh,
and
how far
it
is
is
it?
within this. It is within the system, but you'll still need like faster than light travel to get there, and it'll still take a little bit of time to reach it. But it's not that
Well,
far, relatively speaking.
So how many days of detour, or how much? So we're on a 5-year mission. How much would this affect the remaining years we have left on the? If we were to do this detour.
From where you're positioned now, it would probably take you about 8 months to get to the Lich Gate.
So yeah, so that's gonna be part of my new Twitch. 8 months. 8 months is all we need to do, and we can continue our mission right after. Is 8 months of a colony mission not worth potentially finding the answers of the universe, something we may never get another chance to do? The ultimate discovery.
Busby's again, like he's jabbing the desk in front of him. I insist, no, that is not the mandate of this mission. The Great Mother mission has a very specific charter, and this is not it.
Aiko's gonna lean back in his chair and just kind of whisper to Gaius to go over and like stand right behind Busby.
He nods and makes his way over there. You can see Busby suddenly look a little nervous over his shoulder because
Aiko's gonna look directly at him. Mr. Busby, surely there must be some desire in you to do more than just push papers all day and actually do something with your life.
he's continuously like looking over his shoulder as you say this. I refuse to be intimidated. I will not be intimidated. Can you get him away from me?
He's got his own free will. You should know that.
Ozolinsky speaks up and says, perhaps we can find a compromise here. Perhaps we could send a mission to Lichgate, allow the Great Mother mission to continue on its chartered course, and perhaps we could spare one of the SEVs to investigate this.
Finally, somebody talking my language here.
I would volunteer a UPP contingent. And Valentina Perez like audibly snorts at that. I think I'm going to let the UPP go investigate ancient alien engineering technology on their own and claim it for themselves? I don't think so. No, this will be a UA-led mission led by a contingent of Marines. Make sure that this gets done right. And then this meeting suddenly devolves into an argument as to who's going to go, who's going to lead a mission. And Busby constantly looking over his shoulder.
Guy's just going to put his hand on his...
Until General Lee Taylor kind of just holds up his hand. Okay, enough. Enough now. Now y'all got dollar signs. That's all you see in your eyes right now, and I get it. I know they're looking for things too. That's the whole part of why I'm here. I'm a prospector by trade. But I gotta say, we got 10,000 souls here. Clearly, we're not going to be taking the Great Mothership out there. If we do send an SEV out there, I think it should be representative of everybody on this ship, including Kelland, Hyperdine, Omni, the Three World Empire. We will each have a delegate. And only one. As he looks over at Gaius.
You know, it might also be worth bringing some of the compatriots I brought back with me, since, you know, they're one of the only ones familiar with this. I think they should go on this mission too.
How far along in the process would you have been in logging their mission go back to Baxter's Reach at this point?
Well, because I assume this is like 8 months out, right? Like what? Like we're 8 months away or whatever. Like, because what I figured is we're gonna go. So before we leave, we're gonna send an away team. Which the plan was to send Electo down to do that and get rid of her. potentially, because she'll be flagged as, do not come on board. And then this mission is the follow-up to that.
Okay, so it'd be sequential then?
Yes,
Because
exactly.
Baxter's Reach, you're already like 6 months away from 6 to 8 months away from Baxter's Reach in the other
Oh, I
direction.
see.
So you'd have to go back to Baxter's Reach. and
Okay,
then-
so then I guess I'd be sending a party back to do that, and we'd be going forward, I guess. Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay. Um. So Ozelinsky says, "Very well then, Madam Peretzi. I shall have my team work with yours and the other delegates here at this table. Come up with a satisfactory roster, personnel, and resources."
More guns this time.
Yes, we will be sufficiently armed and prepared for anything. Very well then, Mr. Kimura, then do you have a contingent, a delegate to represent Wayland Jutani?
Suppose if you want something done, you have to do it yourself. I'll be bringing Gaius with me, and I'll have my friends as well.
General Lee Taylor says, "No, that wasn't the deal. One delegate."
We wouldn't even be having this conversation if it wasn't for me. Fuck the delegate. Don't you understand? This is about the truth of the universe.
Lorenzi says, "Fine. I'm sending 5 Colonial Marines."
Fine. Make it 10.
General Olinsky says, "I shall batch person for person, Marine for soldier." And Abantu is just kind of shaking his head. Says, "We're our diplomatic mission. I don't want a war breaking out here in the middle of space, in deep space. No. I understand your desire to be protected. You will have a minimal security contingent with you, but it will not be your own private armies. I would send our own UN sanctioned security personnel with you." And then that sets off a whole other firestorm of debate because everyone wants to bring their personal army.
I'm thinking Braveheart when all those guys are yelling at each other. In the,
Yep, that's pretty much it. So while these guys are having their debates, in the final day, before you leave, you're all kind of summoned back to the hangar. Andrea's not there. And Throop kind of is looking at her data pad as you guys enter the hangar and says, "Now, would you guys happen to know anything about this?" As she shows it to you and says, "There's a mission back to Baxter's Reach, a rescue and recovery mission."
Emphasis on the recover.
It's probably Ico.
Ain't no probably about it. He was one of ours, but
Was he though?
he come to Baxter's Reed on the Mother's mission, and he helped us in a pinch and helped us get off the planet, but he wasn't a resident of Baxter's Reach, so we don't have any real connection to him.
Think. We could leave this ship on a sanctioned mission, presumably to go back to your home world. I don't know if that's something you want. From what you've told me, there's no way in hell I'm bringing my ships anywhere close to that rock. Or we just go our own way.
I do believe there used to be a older band called Fleetwood Mac, and they wrote a song called "Go Your Own Way." I think that song rings true in this situation. I'm not. I mean, I can't speak for Amar, Gideon, or Mags, but I can't go back right now. Not yet. There's nothing to go back to. They nuked it. It's all gone.
Now, why would it looks like this is by order of Wayland Yutani? Why would your friend Aiko want to send you back? Baxter's Reach.
I can't think of why he'd want to send us, but I have a couple ideas of why he'd want a team to go back. From what I remember, there's more of that goop stuff down there.
The whole place, artifacts, faces crawling with them fucking critters. Ain't seen nothing like it. Don't want to go back. No.
Well then, we're approaching that mining colony. We'll be within range of our ships now. By tomorrow, we can make a break for that, hide out there, and start a new life out here. Whether we stay at this mining colony or move on, we'll scope things out as we move. But I just want you to be aware that this is a life you're signing up for. That it's not going to be easy. Not going to be like this with practically every amenity at your fingertips. It's
Life on Baxter's Reach wasn't easy. Didn't have amenities at my fingertips then. Just have to get back used to not having those comfort features. All right. Think I can readjust. I don't know how Amar and Gideon are going to do. They won't have any harvesters to take care of, but do all right.
Yeah, machines will have to do.
Yeah, no offense, Otmar. I am looking forward to not have to take care of another Jarvis.
He was a little bit stinky, if I'm honest.
Sneaky, and he tried to eat me like 6 times.
Also, that's a plot hole. What happened to Jarvis? Is he still just wandering the planet?
He's waiting for us to go back to Baxter's Reach. This is the first thing we're going to see.
Oh, he's plot armored.
all right then. Tomorrow, be ready to go.
They can't track us,
I'll-
can they?
Oh yeah, but we can once we land at the colony. Well, maybe we should do it before then. We can switch out our transponders, but my plan is to make as if we were heading to Baxter's Reach until they are too far from us to do anything about it. Then we'll turn back.
Telling me a ship this big don't have any long-range weapon capabilities?
We're a salvage operation, rescue operations. We don't have weapons on these ships. We have sensors. We state-of-the-art sensors, but no weapons.
Good enough for me. Enough for you guys.
Gotta start somewhere.
One
Can
last
we
question?
take more than one ship? Can we take a small fleet?
Oh, I'm taking all my crew, all 3 ships. They're all
Excellent.
gone.
Redundancies. Pretty good in my experience.
Yeah, I'm not sacrificing not a single member of my crew to that shit. I don't want any of us to be here.
Also, Andrea said she would like to come aboard. I had a conversation with her yesterday, and she said she would pull her own weight. She would do right by us. So I don't think you have to worry about her.
Otmar puts his arm around South, says, "Yeah, I might have a +1 of my own."
Who's that?
Our old friend, Captain Lynn.
Otmar, you did.
She might be handy. You can't leave her here with these creeps. Come on.
I'm bringing Andrea.
That's what I said. They'll be fine. Everybody's going to pitch in.
They'll be fine. She's half the reason why Benji's not here.
I don't see it that way, but I see how you see it that way.
She was a simp. She was part of the co-op. What do you mean? Not how you see it. The co-op is why Benji's not here. Well, and then the whole stint with Ezra probably didn't help either, but
Lots of reasons Benji ain't here. Can't change the past. I think Captain Lynn's in a situation, same way we's all in a situation. I think she might be able to help us.
yeah. But how do we know she's not going to pull an Ico? We're all in the same situation. She helps out, gets what she wants, then completely turns coat.
I don't know her motive, but I do know she's very clever and capable. I think we can put her to our benefit. We can ally with her. She could help us out there.
Clever ones that I worry about. Gideon, what do you think about this? You can't.
I don't like that she's part of cooperative. I don't like that, but Otmar might have a point. I mean, she's the only one who's actually a soldier, knows what's going on and how to fight. Maybe she can help out.
Jesus, you two are the kings of fucking good news today, aren't you? All right.
Gideon, you got a +1 of your own?
Mm-mm.
Look at that. Keeping it tidy.
Maybe. All right. I won't tell Andrea we're on board the ship. Maybe try to keep them separated at least till we get.
I think they're grown-ups. Give them a chance.
They're grown-ups.
Grown
Who
ups
had one of their brothers murdered.
Yeah.
Ain't no Captain Lynn pulled trigger, killed Benji.
He's part of that group, though.
Yeah, I mean, Gideon lost his sisters. Pretty sure Gideon would probably take a gun to Frank if at all possible. Can't expect Andrea not to feel some kind of way.
Maybe I'm wrong. We'll have to see.
What do you think? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how to approach that situation. I don't want to give Andrea a heads up and then spark a problem before we even get off of the ship. And also,
Let's just be ready to react. How about that?
react and living off instinct since we left Baxter's reach. Fine.
Electo steps in here and says, "I'm taking on a lot by allowing you guys to come on board. But you pulled your weight. You've shown your worth the last few months. And I appreciate that. And I want to give you, and I know that you've already seen and gone through hell. And if you bring these guests on board and you vouch for them, they will be your responsibility. Make sure you understand that."
I can vouch for my guests. Otmar, you're going to have to keep a leash on Lynn. But Thorpe, I do appreciate you giving us a fair shake at this.
Yeah. I'll abide by that.
I can try and run interference if needed.
And Droop looks at you. Are you sure you don't have a +1 hiding in the corner someplace that you want to bring along?
Psycho.
Does Mags count? Is Mags already on board?
No, ma'am.
Negs is on board. Yeah.
No, ma'am.
All right then. Monday. And I suppose now that we have an officially sanctioned mission, we don't have to be subtle about things. Although the three of you do, since you're technically still not allowed to leave the ship. So we'll have to stow you. Excuse me. We'll have to stow you away when we leave.
Didn't Nico say that he wanted us to go on the mission, though?
It did not explicitly mention crew. Unless Aiko, you explicitly asked them to be
So
there.
I was gonna have them come with me to the Lich Gate.
Oh, okay.
But so it wouldn't appear on Electo's orders. As far as she knows, you are members of her crew. You will be on board her ship as stowaways, along with your two guests. All right, then. We'll see you all tomorrow, then. Come a little early. We'll pack you up nice and cozy. Make sure you have a nice departure.
I think, guess since our last night on the ship, I'm on Gideon, or anybody in the crew, maybe we have one final dinner, good dinner. Not
That's a good idea, South. Indulge while we can.
plus, I wouldn't mind getting my hands on some corporate beer and/or whiskey one last time.
Let's run up a big tab.
Yeah,
All right.
that's a good idea. Maybe I'll put Aiko's name on the bill.
All right. So you guys make your final preparations. You head down to the mess hall for your last dinner aboard the Iyanla. Aiko. As that meeting concludes, you, as a council, have managed to come up with something that resembles a compromise. You're each allowed 2 people now. Because with 5 people each, you would not have all been able to fit on the SEV. In addition to the crew that was required on the SEV, it would have been too much. The 2 people per representative is good.
Plus my compatriot.
No. You can try to put them on the crew manifest or whatever if you want.
Yeah, sounds like a
Nice.
good plan.
All right. I'm going to need you to make a contact check then to see if you can.
Oh, that's my speciality.
Shouldn't have any stress. All right. You can clear your stress and panic.
Hmm.
So with the 1 success, that's enough to get you what you want. You can put your names on there. And as you do, Gideon, Mars, South, you guys are at dinner when you all get a little notice a flash on your comm devices saying,
Ding!
"You have been summoned. You have been assigned to the crew of the what is the name of this one? Not the Kami. It's the Svetlania Island or something. I forget what it's called. No, it's a Typhoon. You've been assigned as crew to the Typhoon SCV for an unknown mission. Classified.
We're just gonna ignore that, right?
It's useful information.
I don't know.
Let's look
Don't
up as
show
much
up.
as we can about the departure, the manifest, cargo. Let's learn what we can.
I agree with that more. If we don't show up, it looks more suspicious. Then we ghost, they're gonna know something's up.
Depending on the timing, it might not even matter. Might be gone by then.
And this ping, did it say a time frame or it just said show up? Or you've been just summoned like we've been summoned right now?
It would be about the same time that you're expected at the hangar to stow away on the wicket.
Yeah, I'm ignoring that.
Perfect timing.
What about I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Ico.
What about him?
I mean, someone's gotta show him reason, right? I mean, try to. I mean, we all know what that thing's capable of. Maybe he's
You
just
wanna
going
stay
blind with
behind?
power.
You want to stay behind and reason with Ico, South? Be my guest.
Fuck no, that's not what I'm saying at all, by any means. But before we leave, maybe sit down and have a conversation with him. Try. I mean, did help us out. Granted, he probably had ulterior motives, but
He saved Gideon.
I mean, we did bring
No.
Captain Lynn on board, and he had ulterior
That's true.
motives.
I got a bleeding heart, so I ain't gonna say no. Ico, got some fond memories. Got some talents. Could be handy out there. So sure. Yeah. Gideon, though, I don't know that he feels the same way I do.
Y'all want to do it? Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, but if it is Ico who's trying to send us back to Baxter's Reach, and we say, hey, Ico, no, come with us on this different ship, what do you think Ico's going to want to do? Got any guesses? Because I do.
You can
Maybe
give
he'll
me
run away
3
crying again.
guesses. The first 2 don't count. I got 1. But even if I have a conversation with him, at least maybe I can get the mindset of what he's thinking. At least, or maybe it should be you, Otmar. I did put him in jail. Not too fond of that.
He honestly deserved it.
Yeah, but he did put me back in jail. So me and him, I haven't really spoke to him since that whole incident, other than him letting me out of jail.
No. You don't send me to talk. That Ico, he talked the hind legs off a donkey. No. I ain't gonna be successful in that mission.
Gideon, he's kind of fond of you. He did teach you a lot of stuff about programming and whatnot. He may have a soft spot for you, a softer spot for you.
All right. But both of y'all owe me for that. And he says one wrong thing, I'm breaking all of his fingers.
Okay, maybe not you. Can't
I
break
actually
any
think
fingers.
that's best. Sounds like there's some unresolved tension.
No breaking fingers, please, Gideon. We have to get out of the ship.
Just
Under
a
the
pinky.
radar.
Just a pinky.
Well, just a little one. He
Damn
doesn't
it,
he doesn't
Otmar.
need his thumb. He doesn't need thumbs. I could just take those.
He can't write citations without a thumb. He needs the thumb to wrap around the pen.
It
Doing
works
the
out.
world a
then.
service.
Just you guys, what? You guys have become completely unhinged since you left Baxter's reach.
Guess that's what this is, unhinged. I don't think I want to be hinged, though.
All right.
Speaking of which, Otmar, when you have a second, can I talk to you real quick? Just not now, but when you have a second.
The fuck am I? Chopped liver? This was a democracy.
If I gotta talk with Lyco, you could sit down.
All right, that is fair enough. I guess I'll. Anybody need a refill on beer, shots, whiskey, perhaps?
I'll take a whiskey.
Whiskey, Gideon.
I'm fine.
Is Throop at the table with us, or is it just us?
Just you two.
All right, I'll be right back. Shot of whiskey. Well, 4 shots of whiskey coming up. 2 for me and you, Otmar.
It's a shame Mags ain't feeling well.
The strep throat really hit her.
We'll each take an extra for her.
That's right. I'll be right back. Y'all enjoy. I'll be back.
So, since the whole stuff with Baxter's Reach kind of came up, it got me thinking. I've been trying to avoid it, but what really happened down there? I mean, I remember getting jumped by Frank, but that's about it. What happened, Omar?
So here's the parts I can remember. And I know because I see him every night. Walking in, and there were these urns lined up all ceremonial-like. And they all culminated against this wall. Upon the wall, there was a giant face. A feminine face. And then I see crawling on the face, I see those critters. Critter here, critter there. And then they're all over the place. And then I see your sisters. And then I see them kind of moving. Started moving like everything started moving in that room. I got out of there.
Oh, I didn't see much. They seem okay. Do you think they might have been okay?
I mean, I think they were part of a ceremonial ritual for an alien infection. I don't think they're okay.
Okay. This might be a little crazy, but I won't go back.
I understand that.
Because if I don't, that means I left them. It means I left them behind. Do you think we can do that? Just to see?
Gideon, I can't walk that path. But I think if you need to do it, you need to do it.
Okay. Okay, then. I just at least need to know, because if they were all right, it means I left them behind. And I could have done something.
Oh, you would have made it back to the table with the drinks now, and you can see both Gideon and Otmar. That jovial mood is kind of gone, and you see serious and even maybe sad faces.
The hell happened? I was literally gone for 15 minutes. Why the long faces?
Gideon's thinking he might need to go back.
Seth will kind of sit down as you say that and put the 2 glasses in front of you, put 1 glass in front of South, and slide 1 in front of Gideon. Can't be serious, Gideon. We all saw what was down there. Kid, I mean, it's probably a couple hundred, if not thousands of those things coming out of that cave. Your sisters are still alive. I mean, it'd be, don't get me wrong, I'm not a huge spiritual person, but it'd be a fucking miracle.
I can't have left them behind without knowing.
Sometimes, isn't it better not to know? To at least have that little bit of hope that maybe they're okay. If we go down there and they're worse has happened, then it's gonna destroy you, Gideon. I can't do that to yourself.
I have to at least try. Maybe I can fix it.
Gideon, there's no fixing that. He nuked Baxter's Reach. It's gone. Those things, those monsters, they're everywhere. I mean, I'd be amazed to see if maybe even Frank survived that. I mean, there's no way. The odds are slim to none.
Can't have just left them down there.
I know. It's hard, but we all left somebody down there. Amor had a mom, dad, family. I had my mom and dad down there. I mean, Benji's down there. I mean, and even then, how would you? So you're telling me you want to go through with the mission that Aiko's sending Thorpe on?
If I don't try, then it means it's all my fault.
South will kind of put his arm around Gideon.
That's not how it works.
Amar's right. That ain't how it works. Fucking Wayland's fault. The mothership's fault. They knew that shit was down there, and they didn't tell nobody. Hell, we lived there for years and never knew it was down there. Right under their foot, right under their nose. Everything went to shit when they got there. It's not your fault. It's their fault, and that's why we're getting off of this ship to spread the word of what they truly are. give justice to those that have died down there.
Okay.
Look, you want to go down there. Maybe Thorpe can give us like I don't know, an escape shuttle or something. But if you do go down there, if we go down there, because you're not going down there by yourself, you literally just got better to where you can walk. Can't go down there by yourself. But maybe we get the ship, maybe just fly around a little bit, see what we see, and then we come right back to the ship.
Okay. Okay, I can do that.
Hotmar, what do you think?
Y'all's crazy if you go back to that rock.
Trust me, I am aware.
I think if you go with the gear, you go with intent, you make a big show of it. That's what Ico want to do. What he's fixing to do right around the same time. I don't think Thorpe want to go there. With Thorpe, I don't want to go there neither.
Come on, Hotmar, you've known this kid his whole fucking life.
There's no power. There's no food. It's been months. What do you think's happened?
I'm not saying land. I'm just saying maybe do a flyby. Just so Gideon can get a peace of mind.
I think you should do it. Honestly, I think it's a good thing to do. I just can't do it. But shit, what do I know? If Thorpe want to do it, hell, ride and die. I don't steer this barge.
Gideon, are you sure this is something you want to do?
Mhm.
God damn it, I don't even know why I asked. I knew what you were going to say. All right, here's the deal. Gideon, I don't trust people I haven't shared a drink with. I've shared a few drinks with Otmar. We all drank to this and drank to hopefully having another one. Tomorrow's the start of a new day. We may not even make it that far. Andrea and Captain Lynn may strangle each other before we take off. But here's to tomorrow. Here's to everybody we lost on Baxter's Reach. And here's to finding the answers that Gideon wants. He'll raise up the glass.
Cheers.
Cheer.
Cheers.
Cheers to those memories. I'm going to switch over to Aiko for a moment. And where are you now this evening?
Probably be back in the over to the lab talking to our Frank.
Okay, Dr. Kim,
Yeah.
you notice that Gaius is not with you.
Odd. Can I bring him up on comms?
He's not responding.
I'll get back to it after I talk to Kim.
Dr. Kim still, he's looking a little tired now since he's working around the clock trying to figure this thing out. So, what can I do for you, sir?
It seems I might be able to get you some more information. We're going to be heading to the Lich Gate, which I think will hold more information from that android I was talking about on plane.
Okay.
I think this will speed up the research problems that you were talking about.
Well, we could package up our research here to bring it on board the SEV and continue there.
Echo's immediately going to pull up the manifest and attempt to add the scientists to the manifest.
Okay. Or all right. You managed to do so.
Brilliant. You know, Mr. Kim, you might be ushering in a whole new era of prosperity for mankind. How does it feel to be one of the most important people in the universe right now?
A little overwhelming. But this is just incredible. I've never seen it this in my life. I thank you for the opportunity for entrusting us with this research. It's people wait their entire lifetimes to come across something like this, to make a discovery that they can attach their name to, their legacy to, and this is one of those moments, and I thank you.
Well, they used to say Einstein was the most important man for physics and all of these amenities we enjoy. But when we're done with this, they won't even remember who he is. Our names will echo through eternity.
Okay, if you say so. I do have one small request, and I don't mean to step out of the line by asking you this. But would it be possible to get some more samples? Because your assistant came by earlier and took a portion of it.
What? What? When did this happen?
Maybe a couple of hours ago.
I'm going to just immediately rush over to security and see if I can bring up some footage of like where the hell Gaius has been. Gaius.
Com tech check for me, please.
That's my favorite thing to do.
Success. You see that he's made his way over to the mess hall. And I'm going to switch back. Our friends sharing a drink.
Oh!
And as you put your drinks down, you see standing behind you, Gideon.
Oh, come on.
Yes. Mr. Gideon.
Hi.
May I have a word with you? Mr. Kimura has asked me to come fetch you.
I think Gideon's frantically looking over at Otmar's house and be like, what do I do?
They got more, you're
okay.
muted.
I don't think that's a good idea.
What did Echo want to talk about? He could have come on down here, I'm sure.
It's of a delicate nature. I believe he wished to express something to himself in person.
Well, just tell him to come on down here. We'll lay out the red carpet for him.
He is otherwise occupied at this time.
That's fine. We can wait. I'm in no rush.
I must insist, Mr. Gideon.
Oh, okay. And can I like whisper to Otmar's house? I'll be like, why don't you all just like follow along behind just in case?
So, Gaius, Garrus, so you're telling me that your boss is busy So he can't come down here, but he's not busy enough for you to bring Gideon to him.
I see I've disturbed your meal and your celebrations. I apologize. And places a hand on your shoulder, Gideon, as you sit like in front of him.
Tell
Can
to
you make
kind of spot the hand off of him. Get your fucking hands off of him.
Gideon. Can you make an observation check for me, please? You cannot.
I
You
can't
cannot
push.
push it. No.
Oh no. Okay. I can do this. Where the hell's my observation? There it is. Oh, thank God.
Wow.
Oh, thank God.
You see, as you're just kind of like freaking out with this android, like putting their hand calmly on your shoulder. And as you turn around, you see in his other hand, in his left hand, a syringe. And it's coming in for you.
Ah.
And that's where we'll end tonight.
Well, fuck.
Just in case you guys aren't aware, this is above table. I did not send you.
I'm still gonna blame you. This is all your fault.
Yeah. We all know. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted you guys to die on the planet with me.
Go out in a blaze of glory.
And
Nope.
either me or Otmore maybe try to make an observation roll to see if we see it.
We'll pick it up next week.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we're
we're always on the cliffhanger of Gideon gonna die.
I have
Next
to know
week,
I'm gonna die a horrible death.
Next week on How's Gideon Gonna Die?
I don't want to turn into a zombie.
Haven't you heard of something called the Immaculate Incubation?
Incubation, yeah.
Jesus has recruited you into his arms.
It just turns you into Alex. It's no big deal.
Yeah, that's fine. That wasn't traumatic enough.
All right, I'm going to stop the stream here. Thanks for those who watched. This will be up in YouTube in a couple of weeks. We'll see you all next week.